Howdy, howdy, howdy. Let me get my camera turned on. Well, looks like we're starting out as a one-man show here. One-man band. Let's get over here and look, see who all we got in the chat. Alright, we got Sam. Hey, how you doing? Yeah? What's for lunch? Nathan, how you doing? Dave's Hobbies, how are you? If anybody wants to get on the panel, go to where it's posted. The link's right there at the bottom of the post. Just click on the peer link and they'll bring you in. Well, Dave P and Dave E. Oh, glad to see you doing good there, Nathan. Mr. Brian, how you doing? Well, you can tell it's the summertime. Hey, what's up, Lee? People out doing their thing, drowning the kids in the pool. Alrighty, Andy's still at work, so he's going to try and get in here a little later. Lloyd was just in here. He had to go take care of business, but he said he'd pop in by a half hour. So alright, we'll just kind of run through the schedule. We're at the end of the month, or getting there. Next week's the end of the month, so we'll only have one show next week. That'll be on Thursday night. That'll be this one, Johnny Small Train Talk Show. Thursday night, usual time, usual channel. Then 1st of August, I'll have a show on August the 2nd. And that'll be the last show for a week. Because after that, it'll be the Kansas City NMRA convention, and Andy and I both are going to be there, so we won't be around doing streaming. We won't have equipment for it. We're not sure if we'll have that good internet anyway, so we're just not going to do any shows at all during that week. But we will be starting back again August 14th. Who's Big Bill talking to? He's got Steve Brown, It's My Railroad. He's going to have him on. Steve's over in California. He's got a very good channel. I've watched some of his videos. He's an N-scaler. Then the following week, Big Bill's got another show. We're doing these just as to accommodate people's schedules. So that's the reason why he's got two back-to-back weeks. But the second one will be August the let's see. Yeah, August 21st. August 21st. That'll be with Miles Hale. And he's going to talk with Miles about his entry into the hobby and the business and all. So that'll be interesting. How you doing, DeBob? Hey, there's Ron Strange of things. Like I was saying, anybody wants to jump in here on the panel, you can. Don't be shy. Well, let's see if we can do something here. This is a project that I've just finished up. It's the ITLA. Imagine that, laser art scale miles wood freight dock. And I was shooting a video on it as I built it. All this that you're looking at is the rough footage. No edit to it at all. So I gotta go in and get it edited and hopefully I can post it up this weekend. How you doing, Pat? Cheryl Crow. This is only a let people kind of know, this is a single camera shoot. This is done with my newest camera I just acquired. Where I had the camera set up, it's over the left shoulder. I got some studio lights, but I need to make a little room there around the workbench. It's in a tight area where I get the lights set up to give me a little better lighting. Although this camera did good as far as the lighting goes. I do have two other cameras that I am going to start setting up, and where I'll be able to have a 3-camera view on whatever I'm working on. So hopefully I'll have less hands in the shot. That's what my goal is, to have it to where I can have a better view of the projects without my hands being in the way. Yeah, I'll post a video there, Lee. I know it's been a while, long time. Well, Jim and Jerry just popped in. But I started out using the Gorilla white wood glue. And as you see, I had a little problem getting the glue to come out, because as I use it, it gets air inside, and I've been just letting the ball sit right side up, which I'm going to change that. What I'm going to do is make a stand, and that way I can keep the ball upside down, so that'll keep the air at the bottom end of the jar, and it'll form a skin there. So when I need to glue, all my liquid glue will be in the nozzle. That way I just have to open it up. How you doing, Bob?
Good, good. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was messing with my microphone yesterday, so.
Yeah, let me get over here and make sure that I got good volume anyway. Yeah, go ahead and say something. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's working.
Good, good. I'm the first one.
Well, Lloyd was here, but he had to go take care of some business. He said he'd be in about 30 minutes. Yeah, Jim, I mean, Jerry, I use Aleene's tacky glue. It works good too. I mean, the Gorilla and the Aleene's both are good glues. As you see, I'm putting in the cross members in between the legs of the freight dock. One thing I did find out, I like Hunterline stains. So, but you need to test that stain on some wood, scrap wood that you're using in the kit, because where you see that blob of glue, that wood there is pure white, and it was soaking that stain up worse than a sponge. And I used dark brown, light brown, and I had a russet. And the two browns worked fine on the white wood. but the legs were made out cut out of MDF, and when I put the brown on that, it just made a really ugly looking blotch. So I wound up using the russet on the MDF, which has a lot of red to it, but it came out more brown on the MDF, more of the color I was looking for. So just had an ever so slight reddish hue to it, which, you know, that was fine with me. Yeah, Jim, the N-Scalers are coming back on August the 14th. Be sure to tune in on that one too.
Who are they going to be?
That's going to be Steve Brown over in California.
Oh.
He's got a channel called It's My Railroad.
Oh, yeah, I think I've caught that a little bit.
Pat, how you doing?
Not too bad, Johnny. How's things going?
Oh, good. Yeah, Ron says N-Scalers are take over the world.
Well, at least 1/60th of it.
Yeah. Oh, that was humorous. And Jim said, oh, it went LOL. We just can't see anything that is going on in it.
You can see it with binoculars.
Yeah. Good magnifying glass. I think everybody's seen enough of this part here. I can't do that on that monitor. I have to come back over here to this one. Yeah, these cross members, laser cut, man, I tell you what, I like that. Still had to file just a little bit on one end, just to get them to fit a little better. They were a little too tight and kind of bowed on me, so I just file one end of it, then test fit it, then put the glue on it, let her rip. First time I built a laser cut kit. Of course, that made it a little difficult for the bald-headed old man. I had 3 different lengths of cross members. Majority of them were kind of long. They had shortened them up on one end. That's where you had the steps that go up on them. If you're asking if this is for the store layout, no, it's not. I got, I know I got one. Imagine that laser art kit, the Olympia building. And this is actually the freight dock that you can buy and put on it. Mr. Ron.
There.
Good evening.
Howdy. Which I found out, even in HO, I hate building stairs.
For fun and install.
Yeah. As long as I'm watching somebody else.
What'd y'all do to Bob? You got him down on the floor.
Yeah.
It's been rough on you, Bob?
Oh, it's the only place I can work. In this little tiny cave. With the amount of space that I need.
I totally understand.
Alright, let's see if I can...
Kind of in a creative funk right now.
I totally understand that too.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. I just got to this point and I'm like, well, what did I want to do there? And I'm running out of this thinner foam that I've been putting on here. So I gotta either get creative and do something else, cut down some thicker foam.
Oh, okay, that's not working, so... Let's just stop screen share until I get this thing figured out. There they are. Alright, you guys up to anything?
I'm still up to 5'7".
I'm going to try really hard this weekend to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is...
Not making your
daughter's
wife
in
mad.
Chicago. My older son is in Minnesota fishing. My wife is staying 5 days with her mother, which leaves just me and my 13-year-old son here all by ourselves for the next 5 days. And I'm thinking of all kinds of ways I could get into trouble.
Just as long as you're in the right place on Sunday morning.
Well, that's a given. Otherwise, I'll be in real trouble because
Yep.
I won't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I got too many players open here. I'm getting lost.
I got too many pieces on my puzzle here down. It's like, will this piece work?
You know, from this angle, it looks like you could be building a large model of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I know that's not what you're going for, but it's pretty cool.
Could be a war hammer kind of
There
thing.
you go.
Those freaks. No, if you play that game, I don't know, that's fine. No, not freaks. I was looking at this comment. This guy was going to trade an N scale coffee for some 40K. Like, what the heck is 40K? Apparently, that's some game, role-playing game with Warhammer or something. Like, okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
I thought he was charging 40K for that thing. Like, no.
At my house, the gaming, my days of being a gamer are a couple decades in the past, but my kids, it's all about Fortnite or the Legend of Zelda. My youngest son is a Zelda fan, and both of my boys are big Fortnite fans.
Oh, that's old school Zelda there.
Yeah, well, they're still making them.
Yeah.
But he likes the old ones. He likes the new ones. He's really into Zelda right now. I started with my daughter. She was into Zelda 15 years ago.
Well, Ron, Nathan's got you beat. His wife and kid went to Jamaica for a month.
A month?
Yeah, they're 2 weeks into it so far.
Well, don't burn the house down. I thought I didn't know what was going on this evening. Shortly after they left, I was outside. It's about 6 o'clock local time, and I heard the loudest explosion. Just it sounded like it was right across the street, and I still don't know what it was. You know, around here, you know, I live in rural Missouri, so your first thought is somebody's meth lab blew up. I never heard any sirens, so I still don't know what it was.
Fireworks.
If that was fireworks, it could have been one of those, you know, flashbang kind of fireworks that they use at the beginning of a big fireworks show. But I mean, this thing was incredibly loud. It's like having a shotgun go off in your ear. It was so loud.
Yeah. Probably an M100. That's one that came out a few years back. It's got the sound and percussion of a quarter stick dynamite without the damage.
That's kind of what it sounded like, but
yeah.
But considering the direction it came from, I don't know who would have been shooting it off, but
yeah,
who knows?
All right, I got 2 questions here. One's from Howie Mann. What causes DCC equipped loco to suddenly lose sound? Somebody unplugged the system?
Is it still running, or just the sound goes off?
I'm assuming the sound just goes off.
Sticky function 8.
All right, Sam, have a good one at work.
I've had the sound, like if you've got dirty track or something where your contact is intermittent, and if it cuts out a few times, then at some point it'll cut out and not come back on. I've had that happen. But as far as just suddenly cutting out, if you haven't lost power at all, I don't know what would.
Yeah, Howie said it's still running.
You know, the only thing I'd be would be a bad speaker contact, maybe.
Headlight works. Yeah, you might have blown a component in the soundboard.
That's possible.
What kind of decoder?
And what kind of speaker?
Hang on.
N-scale, HO?
Well, so you say he took it to the shop and they couldn't figure it out, so.
the shop couldn't figure it out, so he asks us. I'm sorry, I find that a little humorous.
What scale?
I said economy. HO.
Economy, is it a Bachman or something?
Soundtrack.
Economy, that's the economy version of the Tsunami that they factory install.
Didn't they have problems with that one?
Yeah.
I'm not personally familiar with it, but honestly, my experience is from other manufacturers, when they make an economy version that they factory install, they almost always have some issues. But I don't have personal experience with that particular one, so I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I can't either. I know I bought a Bachman engine and an RS3, and it came with that Lentz decoder in it.
When, yeah.
And fellow we used to have in there, a young kid, Donnie, he was telling us, he said, he said, give it a year and you're going to be changing it, because it's going to get to where it won't run right. And it started doing that, and he told me what Digitrax decoder put in it. I mean, just a motor decoder, and put that in there. Shoot, that thing run better than the first day I had it. It still runs great.
Back in the day, an aftermarket lens decoder was a pretty good decoder in its day, but the ones that they made for, I had a couple of Atlas locomotives that had their economy line factory installed decoders, and I had two of them, and neither one of them would run. And I knew a lot of other people had issues with those factory installed lens decoders too.
Yeah, Dan Ward said try F8. That's the mute on most DCC sound cards. So you could have hit F8 by accident and didn't know it. How he said it's a Bachman.
Yeah. Don't deal with a lot of Bachman if it's HO or if it's N scale anyway.
Yeah,
I don't anymore. I used to have some years ago, but
yeah.
Howie just commented, no F8, not F8. So evidently he's tried that.
Well, what kind of locomotive?
Bachman.
Well, I mean, what is it? A steam, diesel?
Probably diesel.
Did we establish what scale it is?
Yeah, HO.
Oh, okay.
HO.
I missed that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that should be easy to replace the decoder. Especially if the decoder's bad.
Alco RS3.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably wired in, so you could replace it with anything. Put an ESU in there, but if you don't want to spend the money, well, I guess you live without sound. Because if the shop can't figure it out, it's most likely a bad decoder.
Kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, he said he loved that engine and the sound was terrific. How long you had it? That's another thing. It could be a decoder just decided to give up the ghost.
Did we? Oh, it's the economy decoder. Can't keep everything in my head here.
Yeah, you can just upgrade the decoder most likely.
Yeah.
I know that on the N scale, you got like 4 different electrical pickups on some of these decoders. So if one half of it isn't picking up, it runs the sound, and the other part runs the engine. But since that's HO,
Yeah, Ralph just come in. He said it's an RS3, so it will have to be an N-scale decoder. And how he said he bought it March 2018 and hardly used.
Call Bachman. See if it's under
You buy it from someplace that's reputable and could get a warranty on it. Call Bachman up and says, hey, this don't work.
What was that, Pat?
Call Bachman. You should stand behind it.
Yeah.
It's under a year old.
You need to pull your mic a little closer there, Pat. Just put some whipped cream on it and eat it.
Any closer and I'm going to be tasting it.
That's why I said put whipped cream on it. You might want to check your sound level on the computer and control panel. Or are you using a mixer?
I got a Persona's audio box, so it's like I could see some of it, but it's way up there now.
Yeah, you're still, the volume's low.
If it gets slow in here later, you may have to pick up that ukulele and play something for us.
Yeah.
I could call up Eric Smith from Microtrains and he'd do it.
There you
He played the ukulele at the convention. Him and one of the guys from Kato. Kato played the bongos or something. Yep.
It's like Hawaiian vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Jerry, I'll quit talking if that's getting kinky to you. Jerry said the talk was getting a little kinky. Alright, anybody want me to play any more of this video or not? If they do, I'll throw it back up again. I got a different file loaded up on it. Don't everybody speak at one time.
Sure, go for it.
I'm not even looking at the screen, so I don't care.
Alright, quit doing that. I'll get over and get this thing started. This section's where I'm putting the legs on. Here, I'm just checking, make sure I had them standing up straight. No, Jerry, I'm not going to build one of those for N scale because the HO scale steps drove me crazy trying to get those put together. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll buy the kit there at the show and I'll give Ron the kit and let him build it and send it to you.
There you go.
And then we'll send you a bill for twice the amount.
And we'll both send you one.
Yeah. I'll send the purchase bill and you can send the bill, Bill.
The assembly bill. There you go.
Yeah, those are just some little plastic clamps I bought a number of years back, we'll just say. I figured, you know, what the heck, I'll just use them on this.
Well, that's like a backward, like a scissor type clamp.
Yeah.
Those are pretty sharp. I like those.
Yeah. They don't put a whole lot of pressure on, but I mean, for that they did a fine job.
Like I say, for something like that, you don't need a lot.
No.
Just enough to hold it down in the glue while it sets.
Yeah.
I've got some small clamps, but they're mostly just the regular little spring clamps, the tiny ones. But sometimes they're hard to get into a small spot. Same way with, I mean, I've got a lot of modified clothespins.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with those, if I want to get in a small spot, I gotta sand them down on the edges to make the tip narrow so I can get them in the smallest place.
Yeah, I mean, those got a small tip, but I think they'd probably still be a little too big for some of the end scale stuff. Yeah, especially if you're having to clamp like I did in between parts like that.
Yeah, that's the trick. I need a pair of those. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is what I use. Hold on. There's little pin clothes, but they're so small. Clothespins.
Yeah, I've got those too, and I take them apart and turn them around so that actually the handle is doing the clamping, which makes them thinner.
Yeah.
But even with that, sometimes with end scale, I have to sand the edges down to narrow them down to get them into a tight spot. I need some of those just regular metal self-clamping tweezers, you know, that have a fine point. But I've been saying for years I was going to pick some up, and I never have.
Forceps.
Forceps, right?
Yeah.
I know a place where I can get a whole bunch of them if you want some. Cheap.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
I like cheap. You may have to hook me up.
Air Force Infirmary.
No, there's a place up in Minnesota, Minneapolis area called Axeman. And it's got like 5 locations, but it's all liquidation kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they usually have a lot of medical and scientific kind of stuff sitting around, beakers and pitchers and magnifying glasses and among other things, electrical, you know, switches and motors and, you know, wheels and a whole variety of stuff. Forceps is one of the stuff that they have on, usually on display. Even got bus bars and, you know, a bunch of stuff for model railroad that you can use.
Well, I could use 3 or 4 pair of forceps if you may have to drop me an email. We may have to work that out.
Yeah. I'm not sure when I'm going up there, but probably the end of August.
I'm not in a hurry. I've gone this long without them, but
yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
I picked up a couple pair. I mean, you can get like 6-inch ones. I don't know how long you want them, but you know, something you just want to use to clamp onto little things here and there.
Right.
Yeah. For soldering rail, for instance, I use it as a heat sink.
Yeah.
You know, you just clamp them on the rail either side and solder in between.
Yeah, I'd say about a 6-inch is probably about what I would have expected anyway. Something in that ballpark.
Okay. I can pick some of those up.
Cool.
I even picked up a bunch of foam core a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to use that as backdrop material.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't done that.
It's going to be a fast video. That's where I already had all the legs on the cross supports and had to put a clamp on there because that last set of legs kind of leaned over on me. They didn't glue down straight, vertical. So I had to pinch them together to get the cross members in. That's some of those little 4-inch clamps at Harbor Freight. I found those to be real handy. Oh, what am I doing here? I didn't know I got the antenna of my wireless mic in the shot. Yeah, here I'm just reinforcing the glue joints.
I just love it when people critique my videos. And then I look at their channel and, yeah, right, you shouldn't be talking.
Ah, the start of the lovely steps. Everything else fell out of the carrier except for the steps. I really had to kind of cut on them. Of course, being laser cut, the cut was a lot thinner than the blade on the X-Acto knife. What'd you say, Andy?
Hey, boys. What's going on?
Hi.
There we are. Sorry, I'm just walking in the house, so I didn't break out a computer or anything.
Thought you were in the washing machine there for a minute. You were spinning.
Oh, yeah.
No, the dryer is on.
When I talk to Marty, I try to talk to him in his native orientation.
There you go.
You know, show a little respect, but it's just Marty around, so.
We should do that some night when we know he's going to be jumping in. Everybody turn their cameras upside down. That would be awesome.
Good. Right, you talk to us every night. Right way up. We'll be upside down for you tonight.
We're trying to help you out, man. I want you to feel at home.
Well, we'll make sure we give Andy a thumbs down all the time.
It's all right, too. I caught part of that layout you just toured, Bob.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big boy.
Yeah, not as big as the NMRC, but...
No, man, North Metro is legendary. I mean, large size. I mean, it's in the rare exception of a few layouts. La Mesa, the North Metro, that one they're building up in Canada. There's very few. The one in Colorado, north of Denver, that hour, or however far it is up there. Greeley, I think. That was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, Greeley.
Yeah, that's a large layout too. But there's only some of those.
Yeah, I think that's the one that Bill the Track Planner works on.
Yeah, he goes up and messes with those guys who are in some capacity like that. I mean, it's a spectacular. It's worth seeing if you're in Denver or anywhere close. It's worth seeing.
Yeah, I got another layout video from Cheyenne that I gotta put together. It's unfortunate that
from the shops.
No, well, it's from the train depot.
Okay. Oh.
They got a layout upstairs. I think Bill comes up there. There's some people from Denver area down there. I think probably at the Greeley Club come up every once in a while during the month and work on it.
That's got to be a pretty large group of guys to build a road that size. And they built it relatively fast. So that's the thing that blows me away about the North Bay. Something in the neighborhood of 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. So
it's a 5,500 square foot room.
Yeah, they're taking
it completely.
And what's that? 6 years, 5 years, probably, if that.
Yeah.
5 years. Metro Club. I watched some of their earliest videos with here's the space, here's a little bit of framework, almost on roadbed, how we're doing this very most basic stuff, and that's only been a very few years that they built a railroad this. The whole road. We got a big portion of it scenic, signals and some quite detailed scenery in some of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ports and all that stuff. Yeah, they've done. That's really amazing that you can move that fast, that speed.
Yeah, I got a comment here from New Haven Rails for Ron. He said there's a tool guy at the Amherst train show that sells all kinds of tools, forceps, stuff like that. When you're at the show in Kansas, might want to look around because those tool guys do get around to the show.
Oh yeah, yeah. There is a guy there. They sell mostly just all tools and stuff, and they're usually at that show. I forgot about that.
There's a woman
if he's in Kansas, I'm gonna miss him. But if he comes to the show in Missouri, I'll be sure and catch him.
Well, yeah, he'll be at the national show.
I was busting Johnny's chops.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Ron can't wait till Thursday night so he can do that in person.
I want to take all of you guys over to the state line and show you the sign. where you are.
Is there a address for Miles's place for that YouTube?
Not that I found so far. Not that I've seen so far.
I could drive you there, but I can't tell you the address off the top of my head.
I'm not sure I can make it though. It's like 3 hours to get there and sit around for a little bit, and 3 hours back, and then work in the morning.
Oh, come on.
And he's on the south end of the city too, so it'd be further.
Yeah.
'Cause he's down in Belton, south of town.
Because I'll be just turning right around and coming back on Friday.
Yeah, Andy, when hadn't they already announced when the next Fine Scale Expo is? I know it's next year.
Yeah, it's they have. I think maybe me and Ralph talked about it, but I don't remember. I don't remember what the end result of our research was.
Oh, November 1 through 3. That's what New Haven Rail said.
Of this year or 2019?
No, 19.
Where
Albany.
did they say that one is?
Albany, New York.
That's not bad. That's not awful.
It's not bad for you. It's terrible for.
Well, it's pretty bad for me. I mean, it's 14, 15 hours. So.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Or better than 12. It's just not Massachusetts. I mean, you know, I had a few more hours, and I would have just pulled on into the emergency room. And we got him back. I don't know. I could take it, but 21-hour drive coming back with 12 hours spent in New York City in the middle of that 21-hour drive. That's pretty rough. And I got too many gray hairs for all night drives like that. I'll fly. I go back up there first. I will fly.
Yeah, Albany would be a good 26, 27-hour drive. I've never driven it. I've been there. I've flown, but...
Oh, yeah, you fly. That's what I'm saying, too. You
Yeah.
fly that way. I'd fly up to Albany, too.
Alright, y'all can tell me what I did wrong here. Let me skip around where the camera's more steady. My idea was to just glue one step on at the bottom of the stringer, get that glued into place on each stringer, and then move up to the next to the top and glue one across there. That way it'd hold the stringers straight up in place, and then just drop the rest of them in.
Well, what's wrong with it? It's bent?
Well, yeah. And it was, let's just say, a pain in the neck just getting that one step in place. Especially when you got big fingers like mine.
Well, you gotta nail it.
Alright, I'll nail you in 2 weeks. There you go, I got the second one in place right here. I could not get that one stringer to straighten up. I finally, after I built steps, I just cut a couple of scrap pieces, put up under it, because the thing's still not solid. You can rack it. So I just glued a couple of pieces near the top and bottom to straighten up the stringers. I gotta go back with some stain though and put on there, because if it's at winds up being at eye level, you'll be able to see those 2 support pieces I stuck in there, because they're white balsa wood. Yeah, that's where I walked off. I think I forgot the camera. It was still on. I'll let that dry up. Oh, that's where I put a step in. Well, I didn't know that I had that thing so close. Get the big hand in the way.
Hey, I just now got a notification that YouTube Model Builders is going live. Nothing like timeliness on my computer's part.
Yeah, I tightened this up since that was so small. Hopefully so it'll be easier to see in the video. Like next time I'll try and make some kind of jig that'll hold the stringer straight up and down.
You practice a little bit, Johnny, and you'll be ready. I here a while back scratch built some in-scale bleachers for a baseball diamond. You're just almost ready.
No.
Only I made them out of styrene, not wood, but
Yeah. I didn't know I had all them creases in my skin. The camera does too good a job on close-up.
What kind of camera is this? You said it was a new one you bought.
Say Canon Vixia HF G21.
Specifically a video camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All mine are. My very first one was well, I was actually started out on YouTube with a Canon Pocket Shot still camera that did video.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Of course, I had to watch it all the time because it cut off after 12 minutes. Yeah, if you use still cameras, they used to cut off within 12, 14 minutes.
The Canon I started with, I still shoot with the DSLR. I've got a new one now, but the one I started with was a Canon T3, and it would shut off after 20.
Yeah.
I got a T6i now, and I'm not sure if I think it has an auto shut off too, but it's longer, and I've never shot anything long enough that it shut down.
Yeah, see, the way I do videos, I just set the camera up and let it roll. So it can sit there for a couple of hours, you know, shooting while I'm doing stuff, and then I go in and just grab what I want out of it. But yeah, that's going to be the finish up on that. Yeah, that was some work too, getting them things put together. But didn't look bad once I got it done, but I see I need to go in there and touch up a few ends there. Got a little splinters sticking off.
Is this the dock platform we see off to the left?
Yeah.
It's a nice weathering job on that. Looks really good.
Well, that's the imagine that laser art. Freight dock.
Yeah.
It goes. You can get. They use that one with the Olympia warehouse kit that they got. Yeah, they do some weathering on it with the laser. Do some burning on it and all.
Yeah.
Look good, but it has some white spots. You know, very light spots that I wasn't crazy about. So I went back with my Hunter line brown stain and put over it.
Darken it up a little.
Yeah. On camera, it looks like I got a little too hot and heavy with it because a couple of people said it looked more like an abandoned freight dock. Didn't look like it had a whole lot of use. You can see the support pieces I put in there to straighten up the stringers. I have to go back and touch them with some stain. But this was the last clip where I finished it up. Test fit in the can you see that one support piece sticking out like a sore thumb? I think steps fit up on there just fine. I've been using the Filer Laser Expert white glue to glue most of this together. Then I went back with the Gorilla white wood glue to put the steps on. I mean, this does have video, but I got it turned off right now. I was telling why I had the support pieces in there. Yeah, thank you. I was looking at the timelines on today. I mean, that freight dock, you know, what, Andy, about an hour, really. But doing a video on it, it turned out I got about, just in the shoot, almost 5 hours.
Oh, yeah, shoot it. You'll always spend at least 5
Yeah.
times as much time to shoot it. That's why.
Because actually, I didn't even shoot the where I was staying in the wood.
And I ended up having to paint part of it. I could not get staying to take well or consistently with the burnt sides or the way that's built, where it's not stick wood. If I did begin, their surface is spectacular, but
Yeah.
I would just build it out of strip wood. But I would totally, I mean, I'll get it with a kit. I'll probably buy another kit. I'm sure I will buy probably 7 more kits from it. What I do, or from Nick, that is, this stuff's spectacular. But I'll use the deck for strip wood to build the supporting architecture.
Yeah, for those of you that are watching, Ethan Short would like everybody to come check his channel out. He's a newbie into the channel here. He just started uploading videos this year. Mm-hmm. So, Ethan, is your channel under your name, Ethan Short, or is it under a different name?
It's under Ethan Short.
Is it? Okay.
For short.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
It's a little bit longer, you know.
Well, I think that's the end of that video, so I'm just kind of doing my closing shot there, showing off the label and motor mouthing a little bit again about testing the dyes on the wood. Make sure they're going to give you the color that you're looking for. So like I said, I got one color when I was doing the deck and the cross members. That was white wood. But that same color didn't work on the MDF. I had to use russet to get the brown color on the MDF. Yeah, russet's more red.
Do you have any of their colored stains?
Who?
Do you have any of the colored stains from Hunterline?
Yeah, I got brown, white, russet.
Okay, white.
Green.
Yeah, white. I've got that white as well. That is a quite different animal than the stains of the grays, sepias, and creosotes.
Well, if you look right here, Andy, I played with the white just a little bit, more of a dry brush,
Yep.
But that's a spot of white right there. That's the spot, and that's the spot right there. I'll put 3 spots on that deck.
Yeah.
And that was a dry brush. I kind of dried it on a paper towel before I put it on there.
Yeah, it's appropriate. It's much more like a paint than it is like a shoe dye style stain like we used to make years ago, which is what I don't know what Hunterline makes it out of, but it reminds me of the shoe dye stains that were so popular years ago when I was getting into the hobby.
Well, that's what they do. Yeah, Marine uses shoe dye.
That it feels just like it, so it seems like it is. I'm not sure if it is or not. But
Yeah,
it
if
sure
you read-
reminds me of exactly how they work, but even how they soak in the plaster.
Well, if you look at the read the label on the bottle, she put on there that it's made from shoe dye and 70% isopropyl alcohol, and you use 70% isopropyl to thin it if you want to thin it down.
Huh, I don't think I ever read that.
I use that technique
I
on
see
my
that.
trestle.
I see that ingredients: isopropyl rubbing alcohol, 70% USP, and letadine. I had never read all the details on the little small stuff on there. It felt just like a shoe dye stain, but the colored stains, like the white stain, which I love, it's a spectacular material, but it's the weirdest pigment / very dilute paint mixture. It's a real oddity. It's wonderful, but it's a really odd thing. It is not a paint. It is not a stain.
Well, she does say on the website she does have some pigments too that she turned into a stain.
That's what the white is. The white and the green. I'm going to buy some of the green before long.
Yeah, I've got the green. I got the
I want to
green.
try it on some of the rock work in the stream basin, maybe where bridge piers, especially where bridge piers and abutments such deep water piers in my case. So I want to try the green out. I've heard several people mention it in their process. That's good stuff. I was making my own before because I had always made them, but they are really quite good. Because if you make your own stain, and there's a benefit. I make my own stains. I got a bunch of different stains I make. Whatever. I got a red dye stain that I like really well. It's strong, but it's a good stain. But they are consistent. So every time you pick up a piece of wood and you use the tie brown, it's a dark color I like. The driftwood's a good color. Every time you put it into wood, you're going to get a pretty similar effect. There's something to be said for that, and it's a really good one. And for $8 a bottle, it's not $8 or $9 a bottle. It's not hardly worth the trouble of mixing when the stuff lasts forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Good stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've hit the 1 hour mark plus. We're about to go in an hour 10 minutes. So all my other shows, everybody's been doing most of the talking, so I guess tonight was my turn to do more talking.
Finally.
Showing the video. Hush, Bob.
Hey, Johnny, before you close it down,
Too late.
We're talking about
Too late. No, I'm kidding.
Story of my life. Day late and a dollar short. I had never seen this before, and I ran across this recently. And I know everybody's not a fan of craft paint as such, but Ceramicoat makes this stuff. It's called a gel stain medium, where you can take a craft paint, you can mix craft paint, get whatever color you want, and then mix it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 50-50 with this stuff, and it actually turns the paint into a stain. And on basswood, it looks fantastic. It really, really works well. It soaks down in, but leaves the wood grain, and really a pretty cool little product. And I just ran across it by accident. It's called Gel Stained Medium by Delta Ceramicoat.
Where'd you get it?
I just found it at a local. We've got a local carries everything store. You know, it's like hardware, and they carry some craft stuff. But you know, Ceramicoat. Usually Walmart carries that. I don't know if they carry this or not, but I bet you can find it. I bet you can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
Well, they've got a bunch of those little specialty jobs like that. In the craft paint section, I use craft paint for various things. I paint scenery stuff. Craft paint it is stuff.
Yeah.
Cheapest chips, I think they say. And but I got some of this crackle medium that you put a dark color down, then put the crackle medium over it, then paint a light brown color, and then dust it with dirt, and it cracks. You know, in a very realistic way for like dry mud that you have along the edge of the ballast profile. And I bought a really high-end brand of that stuff that was like $16 for a half of a shoe polish bottle or something really, really small like that. It was expensive from a company called Citadel, and it's good. It's better. It's great. But that stuff's almost as good. It was $1. So it's good for a lot of purposes.
Well, I was wrong. Google doesn't seem to have. I mean, Amazon doesn't seem to have it.
All right, one last question. Hillbilly wants to know, what are you doing, Bob?
I am making one of my walls for my helix. This is sideways from your view, so if you turn it 90 degrees to the right, this will be the bottom, this is the top. And I'm making a kind of a tunnel alongside the wall. It's one of those precarious tunnels. If you've ever seen the Gaoliang tunnel in China, like one of the ninth marvel of the world or something like that. 13 villagers carved this thing through a mountain up the hill.
Wow.
And so I'm kind of resembling it. And
Where the wingsuitmen like to fly through.
Yeah. It was in a James Bond movie where they're doing chases through the tunnel, driving a car through it.
Oh, okay. This is different.
And you can see through from the side of the mountain into the tunnel part. So there's specific places that you can see inside, and you know, a lot of tourism there looking out. It's a pretty neat place. So I'm kind of making something similar to that.
So it's
And
kind of in the vein of a snow shed built into the cut of the rock, where it's exposed on one side of the roof, but the roof.
yeah. So my N-scale cars will be in there driving up the side of the mountain.
Big Bill put a comment in here. Bond, James Bond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, jeez, here we go again. All right, we're off air in 30 seconds. All righty. Next week, we only got one show. That's this one again, another repeat on Thursday night, same time, same channel. And after that, there will be no show because everybody's going to be in the Missouri NMRA National Show.
I thought it was going to be Kung Fu Fighting.
AKA Kansas. But after that...
you'll never go to Kansas again.
But August the 14th will be who is Big Bill talking to, and he will be talking to a fella named Steve Brown over in California. He's an N-scaler, and the name of his channel is It's My Railroad. So he's a rather interesting feller. I think he might be related to Ron here, the way he does his videos too. So, and then the following week on August the 21st will be another Big Bill. Who's Big Bill talking to? Bill has been able to procure Mr. Miles Hale. They're going to do a little history class on going back to when Miles first got started in the hobby and the business, and talk about that some. So I guess you might say it'll be a little bit of a history class. Hopefully Miles never watches my show. So anyway, with that, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. I'll get that video edited up and get all the kinks out of it and put it out hopefully sometime this weekend, so you'll be able to watch it without all the interruptions and everything. So y'all have a good weekend, and we shall catch you next week on Thursday night. So have a good one.